Clistia says, I walk up the stairs on my tippy toes.
Interesting.
I do that sometimes too.
Really?
Now, are you on the tippy toes or on the balls of your feet? Because there's a difference.
Yeah, there's a difference.
And the balls of your feet is okay because that's athletic stance.
Yeah.
You're ready for action.
This?
That's the tippy toe. But the ball of your feet is like
ballerina
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah.
it's like this.
You do not walk up with a ballerina.
Sometimes I do.
With the ballerina.
Yeah, she does.
I don't walk up the stairs with a ballerina.
She
but
walks like this
on
too.
my
Yeah, she's got a tutu on.
she spins.
You never seen the tutu, Brian?
I'm shocked.
Thanksgiving?
I
No?
learned something new every day about this woman.
We've learned so much today.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Every day.
We've enlightened ourselves. Yeah.
Gotta always keep some little mystery.
I agree.
Our girl Heidi's in the house. She
Hey,
says,
baby.
I saw a young elephant seal today.
Wow.
Those eyes were amazing. Can you get one for the reptarium?
Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be cool, man? Elephant seals are super dope, man.
No,
How would you like to just see that out in like?
I have
I think she's
similar-
in Durban at the moment.
Oh,
yeah.
sweet.
I have a similar experience, actually. The last time I was in Hawaii, it's not an elephant seal. No way.
Harbor seals, maybe?
But there was some sort of seal. Fat seal on the beach. Me and my cousin were swimming. We went swimming, and we're out in the ocean. And when we come back, a seal came out pretty much right before us.
We're like,
And
hey,
it was
can I
just-
hang out, guys?
Yeah, and it was just chilling on the beach, and then these lifeguards came, and they're like blowing their whistle. And they brought cones out, and they
Put it around
They
it.
put cones around the seal,
So
and
nobody would touch it.
yeah, and it was just like chilling, just slapping its belly, just in the sun, and people just gathered around and watched it for hours. It was
Yeah,
really
that's
beautiful.
awesome.
That's beautiful.
Well, it's all
That's super
about
cool.
living in different places. So for us, what do we have that we see like crazy stuff?
Squirrels.
Squirrels.
Yeah.
Girls,
That we get people from other areas that are just as
You know what else we get?
infatuated with.
big old raccoons.
Oh,
Is it the
yeah.
raccoons I'm thinking, or am I thinking of a different
Possums.
animal?
Possums and
Possum.
raccoons.
But both, yeah.
I mean, the fucking suburb possums
Yeah.
and
Yeah, they're
raccoons.
big old fat.
They're bears.
Yeah.
Did I tell you?
Mini
Did
Little
you hear
Caesars.
about the deer that were in
Yeah.
the front of our
Oh yeah,
house
we had
the other
two
day?
deer just chilling up out in the cul-de-sac.
Standing on our front lawn, staring
Wait,
through
here?
our window at our house.
Yeah, like right in our house.
We're
Yeah.
watching TV,
In the
and
suburbs.
then
Our
the dogs
dogs go
start
crazy.
losing their shit, and
This is
it's like, oh,
this is
here's
pre-dead leg.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
this was last week.
Yeah.
And so we're mad, thinking, oh, it's Amazon, it's whatever, because he barks at everything. I stand up and I'm yelling, like, get down, get down. I look out the window and I'm like,
Yeah, and the deers are just staring in the
I like,
window
Brian,
at the dogs.
stand up right now. He is standing straight at our house, just looking at him like,
Yeah,
What are you
just in the
doing?
window. Yeah, the dogs are barking. The deer's looking at the dogs.
yeah.
Yeah, just like
And
no
then
big deal.
Chaos.
he walks away.
It's crazy.
Like not 5 minutes later, barking again. I stand up. Two. He went and
got
got a
two deer.
friend. There's two standing
Yeah,
in front, looking through our front window at the dogs, losing their crap.
I wonder if
Like,
it's those are the same ones that almost killed our dogs a few months ago.
I remember that
I
story.
mean, they're pretty good size.
During the
so-
pandy, yeah, I just let the dogs out one day, and there were two deer in the
Yeah.
corner of our backyard,
Yeah.
and they almost kicked our dogs.
Well, yeah, that's because what are they going to do? Like if something charges them, that's what they do.
it's a wolf, pretty much. you know?
Scared, yeah.
that was
No,
wild.
but that was crazy. And we literally live
In
on
the city, yeah.
696,
Yeah,
like
it's like a
right
ci-
off
yeah.
of the service
A big
drive.
road, yeah, like-
it is not a place where you should be seeing deer.
No, you wouldn't think. Yeah, we're in suburbia where there's lots of houses and stuff, and we got deer.
it's wild.
Sherry Lynn says, I was with my mom on her last moments. She wanted you to get a saddle for Matilda. First part's true. The second part's not, but Matilda still needs a saddle. And by the way, Sherry, love you and your sense of humor. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Oh my God,
that
that
was
is
great.
funny. I was like, damn, now you got to do it.
yeah, it's her last
Her
wish,
last
brah.
wish.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I think that, it was funny when we were at Reptile Gardens in South Dakota. I guess they used to let people, remember they said
Yeah, they did.
let people used to
Yeah.
ride them and stuff like that.
Desiree said that
that's
she
the
used to
thing.
when
Yeah.
she was a kid.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Think about the things that you could do at the Detroit Zoo when we were young that
Yeah.
you don't do anymore.
Like what?
I think they did
Like
have,
what?
I think they did have tortoise rides when
And
we were
they
young.
had,
what
they had-
else?
They had the elephants
Oh,
that
yeah,
would
yeah,
walk
walk
around.
around elephants.
What
You
do you
could ride the
mean?
elephants. So they
Just
literally
on the sidewalk?
yes,
Well,
on the
yeah,
walk
yeah.
that
Yeah, you
around
could
the
ride the-
thing. What they did, they had the pink. Do you remember the
Yep.
pink elephant footprints? Because they would paint their things, and then you would
That's
follow the
cool.
elephant tracks. But then they would actually walk them around. Sometimes you could do ride. Like
Yeah,
there was
no,
just
they don't allow that shit.
stuff that they don't allow.
Have you guys ever ridden an elephant?
I have.
We did.
I did
Yeah.
at the carnival.
At the
not
Shrine
carnival.
Circus.
Circus is what I
Boy,
meant
people
to
get
say.
touchy with that shit, man.
Yeah.
Don't ever post that online. You'll get
I was
the
a
biggest
child.
hate.
Yeah, they were young.
I was a child.
Yeah.
But the only time as an adult I rode an elephant. Oh no, I did twice actually.
Were you in Indonesia or something?
No,
well,
I
I
was
was
to work
actually
this morning.
I was actually in Africa.
Oh, wow.
And there was a place called Adventures with Elephants, but it was a preserve or elephant preserve, and they let me ride them. And it was wild.
I
you know?
love elephants so much because of their absolute love for humans.
Yeah, they're
They-
really cool.
Some elephants want you on them. They will literally like get down and like, come on, motherfucker, get on my back, and then they'll push
Well, I
you
think
up
that
there.
that's- I think most of those are like trained though.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I mean?
still,
Like,
they're doing
so
it.
I think they're doing it because they think they have to. You know what I mean? I don't know that
Maybe.
they want to. Like I think dolphins want to be around people because wild dolphins will. Wild elephants would never come up to people. If a wild elephant, if you get close to a wild elephant,
They'll
you're
kill
probably
you.
going to die.
Yeah.
Well,
it'll
it's
kill
a
you.
little bit different though because they're very smart, and if
Well, they are smart.
if they are habituated to
That's what I'm
humans
thinking.
and not fearful of them,
Yeah.
maybe they would be more intrigued.
It's just, is it like this? Our dogs love us. They're taken out of the wild. A wild wolf wouldn't like us either.
I think a lot of, and this is a broad generalization, so I apologize to, because I have a few friends that work with pachyderms, elephants and stuff, and they love them. But most elephants you have to break
Yeah.
in order to get them to do, and the way you break them is pretty brutal. You know what I mean? Like,
is it though,
yeah.
or have you, if you raise
it
it?
though?
No, not saying that isn't, but is it that you have to break them, or what if you had one from a baby?
Probably as a
And they
baby, it'd be a
were-
little bit different. I would
Right,
assume
that's
if
what
they
I'm
were
saying, if it was
socialized from the
just-
moment.
yeah.
But a lot of the elephants, especially, I think that's one of the reasons why there's so much backlash to zoos and stuff like that. Is
Yeah.
that
Well-
they're taking out of the wild and then they're literally. That's why the elephant at the Detroit Zoo, as a matter of fact, I doubt if he's still there because he was there for
That was a long
long,
time
long
ago.
time ago. But he would literally step back and forth all day long, like one step forward, one step backwards, one step forward. And what it was is when he was younger, he was chained to
Yeah.
a tree. And
Oh
so
my
even
God.
50 years later, he still does that same, like
Habit,
movement,
yeah.
like he's still chained to the tree.
What is that thing? The elephants have this thing to them that. What trick am I trying to think? Like they would be tied to like a chair or something that they can so obviously move,
Right. Yeah.
but like
yeah.
they can't mentally.
It's almost like
get
they don't
past
realize
it.
their size or something.
What is that? Am I making that up?
No, I think you're right. I think that
There's something like that.
Well, wouldn't that be it? If it was posted into the ground, they could probably just pull that post
yeah,
out.
I'm sure they could.
'Cause they're so
Especially because,
strong.
in the wild, elephants are wildly
I mean, much-
destructive. They'll pull a tree down in a second.
Yeah.
you
I mean,
know?
much like to Phoebe. You can put a fence that's this
Yeah, that's
high
true.
in front of her, and she's terrified.
It
and
is-
won't-
it is
she
for
could
her.
step
that's a good
over
point,
it,
good
and
point.
literally, it's like the biggest Everest mountain to her, and she would never.
yeah,
It's just
that is true.
So this is interesting because we're talking about exotic animals here, and this is actually one of the questions I want to ask each other. If you could, I'm saying there's no limits, nothing at all, nothing at all. Like, let's not even be realistic, completely theoretical.
Yeah.
If you could own any animal in the world, what animal would you like to own?
I think it'd be a great white shark for me.
Really?
Oh, I
now,
love
where would you keep said shark?
I mean, it would probably be in your bedroom.
bathtub.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
We're
have
moving
those.
out soon.
And the pond.
Well, like, would you have it
Pond
in your
out back.
house?
Yeah.
Would you want
Yeah,
it
I
in your
mean, like,
house or
if we're
something?
talking
lake.
just, no, if we're talking,
That's a good idea. Lori.
yeah, if we're talking like fantasy,
Yeah,
here,
fantasy,
fantasy. Yeah, I
100%.
would totally want one like in my backyard, like a giant shark tank in my backyard with
That'd
a
be
great
cool.
white that I could just go out and throw chunks of meat at and go swimming with it every now and then.
That would be
you know?
really cool.
Be super cool.
I've been watching some shark diving videos.
It's cool.
It does seem cool. It's like when I watch these videos, it really makes you realize how Jaws did fuck us up because it's like these wild, huge sharks just walk up to you and they just kind of just swim past you and they pet
Yeah.
them. And you're like, wait, they're not even trying to be aggressive or anything. Like,
No, yeah, I
it's very
think sharks are.
strange.
Yeah, I mean they're not an aggressive animal, and even the shark attacks that do happen are
Yeah.
usually mistakes where they
Always,
think you're
yeah.
seals or something like that. They don't want to
interesting.
attack humans, but and all my shark friends do. The only problem, I just got to get over the deep water issue that I have.
sure.
In order to go diving because so many of my friends that do
Gotta do
shark
that
diving, it's usually in like 100, 200 feet of water.
Got to step out on that bridge.
I agree.
Gotta see the turkeys
Gotta see
in the
those
Cabbage
turkeys
Patch.
in the Cabbage Patch.
You know what
No,
I'm
I
saying?
agree, and I think that I would probably now. I will say like Guadalupe Island scares me because number one, it's like way out in off into the Pacific, you know,
Don't
so
go-
you're way
then
off.
don't go there.
Yeah, and then when you dive with sharks, you know, it's like you can't get out of the cage, but it's cage diving with great whites. It's supposed to be one of the best places to you know, cage dive with great whites, but you are literally in a cage that's like hundreds and hundreds of feet. You're like 200 miles offshore.
You would,
you know, and that's
it
why
would
like
be a very big test for you because
it'd be
like
huge.
it's almost like everything you talk about being fearful and like anxiety towards encapsulated into one thing.
Yeah, like you're on a boat.
You
you're
have no
200 miles.
control.
Yeah, no control. You're 200 miles off of shore.
Yeah.
You're jumping in 200, 300 feet deep of water.
Yeah.
You've got a huge predator fish.
You're trusting a mechanism to keep you alive.
Yeah. No,
Like-
I can't think of anything more stressful than that to
Put
me.
a couple windmills out in that
I
ocean.
agree.
Yeah, if we had a windmill out there.
Yeah, and somehow a Golden State Bridge.
Yeah,
just
maybe like a silo
Yeah.
out there. We'd be crushing.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of the Golden Gate Bridge, totally different. But I've been having some nightmares, and
Yeah?
it's again, you just passed, you just went over it. A couple nights ago, I had another.
It's probably 'cause I was
nightmare
thinking about you,
the Mackinac Bridge.
So,
Interesting. What happened?
It's a scary bridge, man.
So all right, so I went over it at night because I didn't get up there till 2 a.m. So I went over at night. I think way scarier in the daytime. First off,
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I
and
think you're right.
but I will say, dude, the sound of the grates because they had
It is
the
so-
two
yeah.
right lanes or the two side lanes closed.
they've had those lanes closed for like 2 years,
Dude, and
man.
I'm telling you, it sounds like the soundtrack of a horror movie.
It does.
Because it goes like,
Great.
ooh, ooh. I'm like, oh my God.
So
dude.
what is the greats? What does that mean?
So the road, instead of being, this is a giant bridge. Pull this bridge up, Mackinac Bridge. It's one of the scariest bridge for for decades. It was the longest suspension bridge in the world. Now it's no longer that way, but that's one scary looking
So
bridge, man.
Part
and
is
so,
solid.
So yeah, one lane you can see the lane that
Part
they're
are
driving.
great. See the center.
And
It's
listen,
great.
this middle thing, guys, I'm telling you, is less than the size of a curb.
Yeah.
And that's separating you from imminent death from an 18-wheeler.
Yeah, from hundreds of hundreds of miles or feet,
Feet
in the air.
above the air. And this is the scariest part. And then they had both these lanes closed, so everyone's just going, down these fucking
And
grates.
your wheels slip a little bit.
A little bit.
So
They
you
move.
slide a little bit back and forth. So you don't feel like you have traction. It's
windy.
The reason they have the
gotta
grades
stay
is
in your
because
lane.
there's so much high winds on the Straits of Mackinac that
It needs to go
it
down.
needs to go. Well, it needs to go through, or it would
Yeah,
act like
through.
Galloping Gertie, which was the Seattle Tacoma bridge that fell down.
Yeah, it's a
But look at that
towering
bridge.
It
Look at
almost
that.
like
Oh my God.
So when you're coming up to
That's
it does give you
crazy.
listen, I'm not afraid of
Looks
bridges
like a
and nothing.
giant wave
Yeah.
in the background.
Yeah,
going
but
at
it does give you a little bit of like this weird vertigo effect when you come up to it because it's so tall.
Yeah, and look at you can see the waves. That's the wind, and there actually is the thing that's interesting about this bridge is it there are times where like trucks can't go across
a blow-off.
because of wind advisory, and it's I imagine it's one of the only bridges in the country that they actually have people on both sides of the bridges that will drive your car across for you.
Yeah.
Because
Wait, is
people are
that
so-
true?
Yeah,
Yes,
you can
if you're
literally
too scared.
you can stop and someone will drive you across. But look at even the fog coming. I mean, that's
This is
just
a
hell.
video from one of the days they closed the bridge down.
That was last year. That wasn't even like a long time ago. That's crazy.
Yeah, sometimes they close it down because it's just so freaking scary.
The scariest
you know?
time I went over was when I went over last winter, or 2 winters ago, I guess. But with all the ice down there, some reason the ice freaked me out a little bit more. I'm like, that's gonna hurt if you fall, man. Like
Yeah.
even though
And
the
there's-
water would
there
too.
is
but-
so punch up. Yugo falls off back in our bridge.
I remember.
Yugo, yeah, just Yugo.
How do you spell Yugo?
Like you or Y U? Is it Y U go? Yeah, right there. And this is
Well,
this is
I
a true
remember
story.
this. Yeah, this was bad.
See, this is a Yugo that literally blew off the bridge.
That's crazy. And like
And
here's
then look at the semi that literally
this is
almost
real
on-
life,
this is
people,
like-
and this is how you get to the upper P. So
yeah, but literally, there's I don't know what the date was with the Yugo, but it literally
that's crazy.
flew off the bridge.
so
You know, it blew off because of the high winds.
yeah, that's wild. Let's
Is
get
this-
back on onto Mom.
Animals,
though.
yeah, animals.
Mom,
Whatever.
if you could own any animal with just complete, freedom, you don't
Freedom.
have to. You don't have to
don't know.
do anything. I'm not even talking about caring about it. I'm no.
How about a narwhal? Would you want a narwhal?
Oh wow, I didn't even think about that. That's awesome. Hi, buddy. Hope you find
You wouldn't want a narwhal?
Nah.
How
I
about
don't
a
know.
narwhal?
I don't really know. What are you? What's yours?
I don't know. I was thinking something along the lines of giraffe, just because you know I really do love the
Do you know-
giraffe.
Do you
and
know,
everything
Noah,
about it.
that
They're cool.
5-10 minutes away from the place in Grand Rapids, there's they've got giraffes.
What?
A place called Boulder Ridge.
No
Are you
way.
serious? Can
It's
we
literally-
touch 'em?
We don't know.
I've seen some pictures of people feeding them.
I really
So
want
I
to.
don't know much about it, but it's
I've
literally
never-
down the road from us.
That's all I've ever done is fed a giraffe. I really want to touch giraffes. Like I want to be like.
Well, I've pet giraffes, but I haven't ever.
I want to like hug its leg.
You
And
got to
stuff.
be careful; they'll kill you.
Yeah, that leg's like hard body.
Yeah, that happened at the
Tell 'em to be
Binder.
nicer.
It happened at the Binder Park Zoo, where one of the keepers was in and it kicked it, and they like literally almost lost their leg.
Jesus.
Yeah, they like had multiple.
They sound really, really
Yeah,
friendly.
yeah, they hit you in the head. That neck
and then they hit you with
hit.
that neck, baby.
That's like a different. That's a whole different story,
I mean,
man.
guys,
It's a brachiosaur.
Can we? I was just gonna say, can we acknowledge the fact that this is literally dinosaur shit?
Yeah.
Giraffes are dinosaur shit.
Yeah.
They're so crazy. I can't believe that's real.
Well, that's the
Do
thing.
you
If we found that fossil, we probably wouldn't think they had fur.
No,
We were
We'd
talking
probably
about this
think-
the other
We'd
day.
probably think that they had scales.
Yeah, in our podcast, we did this thing about what a hippopotamus skull.
Yeah.
If it was morphed into what? Jay, can you?
Yeah, I'm
do you
gonna
know
do
what
it.
the fuck? How do you describe this?
So pretty much when we find fossils, right?
Yeah.
We find the bone and then we do this, right? We kind of
Yeah.
saran wrap the bone with skin and say,
Yeah.
this is what the dinosaur looked like. But this is our hippo's fossil. So this is saying how an alien would reconstruct a hippo if they came and found the fossil of it.
Isn't it
Yeah, but
strange?
yeah,
Right,
it's totally
but we don't take
different,
into consideration the hair and the fat and the cartilage. We just put it on the bone.
Yeah.
So
very
all of our
interesting.
dinosaurs would probably look a lot different than we
They
think.
don't look
Yeah.
like hippos.
In a way, yes, yeah.
It's very interesting to me because it's almost just like, wow, we really don't know what any of our dinosaurs look like. Like
No.
the T-Rex could look absolutely nothing
Here's a
like
good
what
one.
we think the T-Rex looks like.
This is a good one.
Fucking crazy.
Like what a cat looks like a cat skull, and how we might reconstruct it, and then the friggin' cat. You know what I'm
Oh my
saying?
God.
Yeah. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
It's just a very interesting thing to have fun with your mind.
Yeah.
Sure.
But what I was gonna say before we hopped on this topic was, do you remember being in Columbus Zoo? I'm pretty sure it was Columbus. While they had that baby giraffe being born, it was like they were live streaming the birth of the
Was it
giraffe.
Columbus Zoo or not?
It could have been a different zoo.
Might have been Binder
Bind-
Park.
I
I
think
think
it was
I think it was
Binder.
Binder Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I was young, and I just remember that it was we were like behind the scenes and like
Yeah, I was in the
and
giraffe
like
barn.
yeah, and we were just like looking at them, and I was like, it was just amazing.
Yeah,
It's
well, I
just
used to love
amazing.
going to that place because it was like they would let us back, into the areas that no one else could go, and you could, then you could really get the feel for how tall they are. Because usually when you're do giraffe experiences, now this Boulder Ridge is the same thing; it's ground level.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
it's cool when you're ground level and feeding giraffes as opposed to in the dock where
Yeah.
their heads
You're
are kind
just
of
up.
like
You're already
yeah.
7-8
yeah,
feet off the
so
ground.
and when you can really appreciate how amazingly tall they are. You guys know I love giraffes, so yeah.
Did you think of anything, Mom? Any animal?
I don't know. I don't have anything like crazy. I guess so. If you're doing it in like theoretical, then it would be a perfect world
Yeah,
where
perfect.
obviously it would be safe and you could interact
Yeah,
and there wasn't
sure.
any of that. So I think probably take a lot of hate. I think it'd be cool to have like big cats. You know,
I agree, though. I would do the
because
same.
they are
Yeah,
awesome
Carol Williamson.
animals. Like if you take out the they kill you factor, like
Yeah.
because that's the thing. Like I would never be a person that could ever even really work with them because
I wouldn't
can't
allow
take,
you to.
I can't take that factor out of my head. Are you kidding me? I have that more than you do with things. Like I always look
yeah.
at the worst case scenario, and even more so, like just because even just playing, like they just hurt you and don't mean to. But if that wasn't the case,
Yeah.
like how cool would
It
that
would be cool to have a big old tiger just laying on the couch.
Oh my
while
God,
you're watching
yeah.
TV.
I was watching that clip you reposted on Instagram not too long ago. Of you
I took
getting-
some hate from that too.
You did.
Yeah,
I
you
took some
did.
hate.
Honestly, like
Yeah.
it was crazy because like I was watching the video and I was just like, damn, Mom is getting fucked up right now. like
and
like it
that's-
did not look fun.
No, and that's exactly it. And I don't care. Like people,
Yeah,
nobody
people can say what they
nobody
want,
gives a
but
shit
yeah.
about your opinion. So just
Yeah.
keep it to yourself. But the reality is that's exactly it. So once they reach a certain size, they're still playing.
Yeah.
You know, and that's
Yeah.
the thing. But they're playing
They're
with.
big.
They can't play with a person the same way as they play with each
themselves.
other because
Their
we're
skin's
not
twice as
made.
thick,
We're
yeah.
not
Yeah.
made to do that. And that's the thing. Like I wasn't terrified like they were trying to hurt me, but the reality is you can and do hurt me, but not meaning to.
Yeah.
Like you know,
Yeah,
I
they were
wasn't
just a little bit
afraid
bigger.
for
Yeah.
them being vicious, but it was just
Yeah.
trying to protect myself because I couldn't really. You know,
I know it is interesting.
and it was a bummer because I wanted to be more able to, you know, play with them and stuff like that. But the reality is
you
that
almost need chainmail.
yeah. Or definitely, you know, dressed a little bit different, maybe some chaps, maybe.
It's just interesting how we made it so far and evolved as far as we did.
We're
with the,
so
Thin
Yeah,
skin,
we just got
no
little
nails, no
tiny-
teeth.
no protection.
Can't climb for shit.
like our brains is what made us evolve into what we
The
are.
tools, right?
Yeah, just if we never made tools, we would have been dead.
Rail this, Sam. Can we rail this in?